maybe weren't as strong.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be our closest matchup that we have currently seen. As you know, you kind of expected Empire and Vodafone, that would be a pretty good test, but we kind of thought Team Empire would have that edge, but it wasn't the case. And then Penta, of course, we kind of knew they were going to win. But how about we take a look at some of the operator bans, because that always dictates the type of play styles that these teams are going to have to work around. And of course, those operator bans are always going to come into that decisive factor, and especially if you're banning out big operators such as Lion and Blackbeard already on the attack, then it certainly does spice things up.
Yeah, we did finally see some Lion play earlier, but it is rare to see Lion not banned, so that was interesting. But Lion and Mira being banned here are pretty much par for the course. Blackbeard does get banned fairly often on this map because there are some great ways to play him on some of those windows for some of the bomb sites. Well, I'd say a good majority of them actually have places that Blackbeard can play, so yeah, definitely not something you want to deal with. So I don't blame Trust Gaming for going with that ban there, especially since they didn't have to worry about banning Lion. Since they were banning second, they're oddly enough going to start on Hookah for Prismatic, so interesting choice for a primary bomb site, as typically that's going to be Kitchen these days.
It is coastline, so every bomb site is defendable. We've seen this time and time again where teams will go really anywhere. Blue Bar and Sunrise is certainly rose through the ranks, just as coastline really has. You know, it was the most played map at Paris Major for a reason, because teams know it's very, very adaptable and a lot of versatility that you can really use. And it will be the Hookah Lounge and that Billiards Room. So typically what we're kind of expecting is more of a bit of a heavy room game over towards that penthouse and theater area, try and slow down that attack as much as you can in the early phases, try and waste time, because certainly big operators like Smoke and like Maestro can do a lot of damage to that final push the attackers want to use. And then also C4s from below have been one thing that has always stuck around for Coastline, because it is so destructible from below.
Yeah, definitely some fights we'll see maybe someone playing where Real MC is down there in that entryway, as well as you'll probably see, like you said, someone in theater is very common. However, from what I've seen a lot of times, theater can sometimes be a death trap against teams that are very well coordinated on the push. You usually don't have very many places to hide in the back of there, so if they are on top of it, you probably won't live for very long. So best you can do is try and buy some time. We do see Snuff already potentially approaching one defender downstairs, but you never know where they're going to end up here, as he's actually going to be able to do some scanning. Not going to necessarily find any actual individual players off of it, but that was a good sixth pick over to that from Hibana that he made earlier.
Yeah, just looking at some of the utility that Prismatic have, they've the Legion with the goo mines, Valkyrie of course with those black eyes, and just like we did see, one of them was already taken out. MC and also Valkyrie will be stationed downstairs along with YLZ, so a very downstairs heavy defense being established by Prismatic. And Trust, they're going to have to try and get these crossfires established. Diapec already has that nice long angle in towards potentially the Legion, could get the kill, so you can see the crossfire angles are starting to be developed. Snuff still pushing in towards that office area, and also we did see Avaish, he was on that single window trying to hold the crossfires as well. So this is looking a pretty good attack from Trust, but they need to start trying to put the pressure onto these Prismatic defenders. Don't let them sit there and waste even more time for yourself. Trust Gaming, they have slowed down quite a bit. They just want to get the final bit of droning working, and I'm sure the crossfires and the push will eventually come in for this downstairs take.
What does surprise me is how much they're focusing on the downstairs when that's not the bomb site, and you can't really attack upwards all that well for that particular bomb site, but they know that there's a lot of players downstairs, and they're just looking to take advantage of that, get a lot of early kills. But unfortunately, Diapec, his reaction time not seeming to be on par just yet. He gets taken down, but YLZ trading that off.
You can see the trades come in quite frantically from Prismatic and Trust Gaming alike. It will be down to a free-on-free. Real MC still will be located inside of that office area. Avai, Snuff and Leonsky, the final players of Trust to try and salvage this round, because they really haven't established that control downstairs. Sure, they've killed the Valkyrie, which I'm sure was the main thing they were hunting for, because that C4 from below can be detrimental for many, many attacks. Leonsky, he may be looking to rotate in towards that aquarium, which is the more likely place that you would see the plant being established, because you have that bomb where you can kind of hide behind. But then again, you still have to worry about the Maestro cameras being able to find you out, and also could potentially kill you if you're on weak enough health from those smokes that Q still does possess as well. 30 seconds on the clock. Snuff and Avaish have also rotated out in towards that aquarium balcony, so it certainly will be this A take, but Real MC, he is caught on to the scent that Trust Gaming will be trying to establish that dominant position over in towards the aquarium. You can see the Capitoy bolts will be used. Jaeger devices are going to be essentially useless for that stuff. TK's Leonski inside of the fire, and Real MC will start his approach on the flank. Aguila just talking about the Maestro cameras will get that one kill, and we'll also see Snuff as he eliminated the Real MC. 1 versus 2, Snuff will die to this Evil Eye, but that's going to be out of time for him. As Prismatic, they will hold their ground after a great downstairs hold, and the anchors do their job, and Trust Gaming, they will fall at the first hurdle.
That was definitely not the kind of attack I would expect to see. Seemed a little bit spread out, spent way too much time downstairs. Diapek, for example, was alone against 3 defenders. I mean, it seemed like Prismatic read into the fact that they wanted to focus on downstairs, and they just dedicated even more bodies to it, took advantage of that. One, I'd say a good majority of their gunfights, enough to at least keep it an even man count with the trades, you know, something that I believe Flynn was touching on in terms of trades not coming up from Prismatic on Oregon. Seems like they're doing a much better job of that here on Coastline. Certainly working out. They're going to go to Kitchen for their secondary bomb site, so now they will actually be downstairs, which makes a little bit more sense for that kind of attack, although this is where most likely Trust are going to attack upstairs now. Bringing a Monte in there from a 6th pick of Diapek. Should be interesting to see. Hopefully that will help a little bit with the roam clear that they really struggled on last time, because they just definitely seemed a little uncoordinated. And it was an unfortunate TK as well in there.
Yeah, the Montagna pick is certainly something that Trust, just by talking to them, that's something that they've really favored in their attacks. They have really switched over to be playing those kind of shield operators. Bit surprising that we're not seeing any soft breach shots. There's the Buck or the Sledge to get in there and do some pretty hefty work on that wooden floor. And we know on a very heavy anchor bomb site like the Kitchen and Service entrance, and yeah, opening up above those anchors is always going to be detrimental.
Well, hopefully Snuff is carrying breach charges, because if he is, then that could be enough to be able to open up a lot of that floor. But you're right, if that's it, or if there's, you know, they're not carrying those breach charges, it's going to be all on Ash to open a floor, unless they really want to use thermite charges to do that, which seems like it would be a poor choice.
See the upstairs hold being established by this, so what kind of things are we looking for? You know, if you're going to bring those castle barricades, you're going to try and hefty hold, and imagine it's more than likely just to try and deny access to the potential bot that we just talked about.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be to try and control as much as possible, but it looks like they're going for a straight delivery rush here with this Monty. An odd choice, as he's actually pushing through the smoke there, thankfully staying out of range of the fire. They are going for the plant. They succeeded on it. What a play by Trust Gaming.
This is a new one for us. This is something that we do not see all too often. A very quick, aggressive smoke and plant using the effectiveness of the Montagna. Glaz would have been a good combo as well, but this will get the job done as Avaish, he picks up the flank coverage and eliminates YLZ and also Q, and everybody else from Prismatic will simply fall. Avaish, free K for him, the Claymore, his ultimate flank coverage that he had. And wow, Trust Gaming, just a complete random round that I don't think maybe you could ever have called.
That was fantastic. Kitchen is usually the most defensible bomb site, but no one, as you said, expects a just straight smoke Monty push right on in all the way through delivery. I bet they wish they had Frost at that point, just to maybe get him on one of those Frost mats, although I imagine they would have drawn that out. Now, they are going to try Kitchen again. I don't think the same trick's going to work twice. Diapek there, I'm pretty sure faking that Monty to 6th pick off of it, something else.
Yeah, that could be another potential. Frost certainly would have been quite a bit of a funny one. Just, you see the Montagna walk in. Oh, you've been bear mad at my friend. You can't really do much, but
he is going to bring it.
He seems to be sticking with it. I'm sure that the players from Prismatic will be more adaptable and ready for this, because if it works again on them, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's kind of what the thought process of Prismatic has to go in thinking this.
Yeah, I mean, they have some ability to deal with it with the Echo drones, but for whatever reason, they're not playing Maestro. That is something that would be able to see through the smoke, would have at least given them some idea what was going on. Maybe they've been able to do some Evil Eye tasers onto the planter, enough to maybe hurt him, potentially kill him, depending on how weak he already was, along with some spray coming on in, you know. But I don't know, I just can't see Trust pulling that off a second time, as you said. But at the same time, Prismatic aren't bringing anything that terribly counters it.
They do have the Echo for a change, so that can be a pretty big one too. Especially counting that Montagna, you can get rid of a shield. Potentially somebody else could be there for the follow-up kill if that is the case. But more importantly, you can stick it to the ceiling. You'll be able, of course, to hear the plant, and you will more than likely just be able to pre-fire Echo Burst. Is that kind of a phase we use now with the Echo Drone?
Yeah, definitely something you can do. Recharge times are a little bit longer since the changes to Echo, though. But chances are he could have 2 drones just hanging out.
Yeah. That's certainly something that it does happen where we see 2 drones and the Echo just keeps flicking back and forth and you're constantly being Echo bursted. You can't really stop it. This time, Trust Gaming, they will not go for that push. Instead, it will be a Sunrise take coming in, and that Castle Barricade will slow down the Trust Gaming attack just a little bit, but it will get bashed down quite easily. There isn't really anything that stops Trust from simply walking into the A bomb site at this stage. You can see that everybody who's roaming is in towards that theater and penthouse area. Nobody's around that blue stairs. Of course, the rotations can come in quite frequently, but we know there is excellent flank coverage on Coastline. You have the roof where you can access all of those different big windows around that courtyard area. And also just simply somebody holding an angle inside of Aquarium does the job as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely able to get a lot of fluid movement up here because no one's pushing them. But at the same time, it seems like they're really just pushing for a potential plant. The Echo drone that we saw inside Kitchen would be the biggest holdup to getting that plant down. If they, as you said, they rushed in, took advantage of the positioning of these. That's a little bit of a late setup for a deployable shield. Might have even been heard by Snuff there, as he is fairly close to that. A lot of focus on this area. They're actually going to open their own castle barricade remotely. Unfortunately, nothing going to come of it. Hopefully Snuff here going to play this smart, but he is just holding an angle, waiting for them to come down the stairs.
So all the pressure on Prismatic to actually make these flanks work as the attack will start to commence for the players of Trust Gaming. Montana will push in, but just talking about the flank, Babu will be able to get that kill from the courtyard area. He's going to come out against Snuff, who may not be ready for this, but he will be, but he misses the shots, and Babu picks up a double kill. Also, Q managed to eliminate Montana, and Aguila puts another nail in the coffin as a Vaish will fall. So it's going to be down to Snuff as he'll be located on the courtyard, gets 1 kill for himself, but really at this stage, all they will be is impactless kills. It's nothing really else he can perform. If he manages to pull off the clutch, then fair play to you, sir. But in this scenario where you have to go against all of these players who are ready for the refrags, even if you manage to kill 1, Echo drones as well, and simply YLZ will manage to pick up that kill of Snuff, walks in, just didn't even know where he was, and Prismatic will take that round. Another round for themselves, and they will take the lead against Trust.
Well, so far the only success we've seen from Trust was that Monty rush plant. Just nothing else seeming to even get close to working. It is unfortunate. They are potentially going to run that Monty again. Hopefully not, because I would say that was kind of a gimmick one-time play. We didn't see a lot of success from them outside of that. They are going to go to Hookah again, as that is their primary bomb site. And why not? Because they can. They defended Kitchen twice. We may or may not see a 3rd bomb site from them, depending on whether or not they win this. If they do, might see Penthouse or might see Bar, depending on what their 3rd preference is. There's Diapek going with the Zofia, not the Monty after all, although he could 6th pick.
It doesn't seem to be as if he's going to go for that Montana, so they have decided to completely drop that shield. It wasn't really working for them. Sure, it worked for that quick rush plant, but besides that, it hasn't really put a dent inside of the Prismatic defense, as they will take up arms inside of that first defensive position that he did win inside of the first round. We'll see how Trust can adapt. Can they break through finally this billiards room and hookah lounge defense that Prismatic has developed? No Valkyrie on the side of Prismatic. Instead, they will take the castle. So a bit of an operator switch. I'm sure they do also value those castle barricades in terms of slowing down the members of Trust, but we do see the Sophia and Ash, those castle barricades really shouldn't come in to hinder that attack.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, we saw, though, even with the castle on the last matchup, that Prismatic don't even necessarily use all of their castle barricades. So we'll see. They're definitely setting some up now. That was their last one, so there we go. All 3 from Babu, thankfully, this time. But they definitely seem to use a lot of castle on this map.
Certainly they seem to be favoring the FBI operator, who can't deny, you know, a lot of time sometimes for the attackers, but whenever we see Trust with the Sophia and Ash, never going to be an issue. They can simply walk on in, see the castle barricade. Diapek, he's actually smartly going to be using this spot that you can get to by vaulting on over through some of those vent units, and you can actually manage to get yourself a very nice deep on angle in towards both the B and the A bomb. So he will be playing this position, as you can see. Looks straight, and does he see the head of the Smoke? Smoke sees him, as shots will be fired back from one another. And Diapek!
Much better this time.
Excellent pick.
he really struggled with his reaction time. It seemed like last time he was on the Zofia. This is much, much better coming out from him. However, a refrag, second time Leonski the first to die as that Thermite.
Another kill will come in from Diapek, and Quadzy will finally eliminate the Jaeger. A double kill potentially for Quadzy. He will manage to get the shots, and Babu, he will fall, trying to get the refrag, avenge his fallen comrade, but that will not be the case. The real MC is going to be the last man alive, and he is going to be in no position to even retake the bomb site, as he's not even inside of the bomb site to begin with. He was off-site roaming. If Trust get the drones in, they realize, hold on a minute, nobody's here. It's free real estate.
I'm honestly surprised that Real MC didn't just try and stick around the diffuser and guard that, because that was the one thing he had working in his favor, is that the diffuser had been dropped. Now that they have it, they can get themselves into a position to plant, and that forces Real MC to make really desperate plays at that point.
Trust Gaming have still not found out. Hold on a minute, nobody's here. But they finally actually will, as the diffuser will be planted by Quadzy, pushing up in through those blue stairs. And this will be all down to the real MC. This is really difficult for the Legion in this position to actually manage to find a comeback. Diapek has also the angles, potentially get himself another kill, and he will just about see the body of the real MC and finish him off with a headshot. And Trust Gaming do respond, and it will go 2 rounds apiece, leading into the final defensive round for Prismatic.
It is odd to see how back and forth these rounds are. The rounds are usually completely dominated by one team or another. We're not seeing a lot of back and forth between these two guys. It's either, you know, Trust Gaming are completely on point and destroying them, or Prismatic are doing the same on defense. So interesting to see that, but they don't have to go to a third bomb site. They're actually going to volunteer to. They're going to send it over to Bar, another great bomb site. This is one I think they should be able to pull off as long as they are well coordinated on it. But you never know. Trust Gaming finally seem to have found a little bit of their groove.
Quite surprising, we haven't seen a single penthouse and theater defense coming out from the players of Prismatic. That is typically the most played bomb site on Coastline. It's a bit of a weird one to see them not really opt for that and go for everything else. Typically we see at least one penthouse and theater. Typically Blue Bar is the one that teams, I'd say Blue Bar and Hookah would be the ones that teams would go to last. It's mostly kitchen and that top floor, which is the main one, but we'll see if they have something up their sleeves. Potentially this whole time Trust are expecting every round, this might finally be the time we attack penthouse and theater. That's why they take these operators, but no, still not going to be the case. I'm interested to see where Trust will actually approach. Will they come in through the office, very standard take, open up that Blue Bar wall, go in for the plant, or will they attempt to approach upstairs? They don't have the buck still, but Sophia and Ash still has that soft breach potential, so that could be another option for them.
Yeah, plus like I said, they might be running the breach charges on IQ, so yeah, a lot of potential for them to open up that floor should they need to do so, which is, I mean, that's the way more common way to do it, is to take Hookah and be able to do some damage from above. They're not going to have the Monty to just walk on in this time.
Diapek certainly has become alive in these past couple of rounds. He was stuck on the Montagna, but instead Sophia certainly is working the magic for him and his team, as it does appear that it will be this kitchen take coming in from Trust Gaming, so they are potentially going to set up some crossfires. Castle barricades, we said. This isn't really going to affect Diapek in any shape or form, as he can use that concussion grenade launcher to eliminate that. Well,
I like how he's actually using it to his advantage to safely drone instead before he opens it up, and that really is a smart approach.
Also could potentially open up a wall right beside him with another lifeline charge and create another crossfire that potentially members of Trust could use, but equally that could lead to a bit of a disadvantage for the players of Trust, as that's another angle. If that kitchen is retook by a player of Prismatic, that could be pretty detrimental if they start opening up these rotation holes for the defenders to use. Trust certainly do seem to be just going for the full courtyard plus the B push, so they're going to try and shut down a lot of these potential crossfire angles and really shut down the rotations, primarily coming in from those cool vibes, so it allows players like Leon to go in for the plant.
Well, they're definitely getting set up here, but no kills on the board just yet. Over a minute and a half has progressed here. There's definitely a good setup in the defense, but a good start there, taking down Leonski again. The start, but he did his job getting that wall open.
Yeah, it's not the biggest frag, I would say, but that will certainly be a big one, as Diapek will fall, as the real MC will put a bullet inside his skull. So a 5 versus 3 Quadzy will get one for his efforts. Aguila will die, so Echo off the board. That's a pretty big kill as well. Snuff still outside of that office area, isn't really finding anything.
That's surprising to me. They don't bother with the smoke at all.
Babu, he will jump in and actually get that rotation off, and Avaish, he will die. YLZ will also retake the bomb site, and Quadzy, he's going to be up against potentially 3 players here. Snuff, he will find Babu, who is just aimlessly looking at the doorway, but then the refrag will come out from Q. The refrags have been on point for Prismatic, and Trust Gaming, they are just starting to crumble under this pressure. Down to Quadzy, the newest member of this side. Only been with the squad for about 2 months. We'll see if he can put that aim to his test, as he is, of course, playing Ash, a very heavy frag operator, but Q, he will hold the angle, and Quadzy will also fall just like the rest of his teammates. And going into the halftime switch, it will be Prismatic leading the way. 3 rounds to 2.
Well, definitely a good start for them. And just not what we wanted to see from Trust so far. I mean, they've had some great rounds, but they've had some really bad rounds as well. Hopefully here on the defense, they will show up a little bit better.
So kitchen and service entrance is where we will be headed next for Trust Gaming in their first defensive bomb site. How will the strategies differ from what Prismatic has shown us? Nothing really too out of the ordinary. They also will be running the castle, but certainly on the attack, we will see a bit of a change up, as finally we will see a good soft breacher in the form of Buck, who we know can do devastating things for that kitchen and service entrance attack. And equally, Buck is very universal in coastline, because, say for example, it was a penthouse and fear defense they were going for. You could use Buck using that top-down verticality and go in through that lobby area and open up below the players of Trust Gaming as well. So Buck very, very strong on a map like coastline.
Interesting to see that they went without any hard breacher. They're going to go with just the glass. Something that, well, if you're not going to have a hard breacher, having glass is the next best thing. So they're definitely going to take advantage of that. On a potential delivery push is where Glaz excels the best, especially in combination with the Capitao, to set up the smoke like we saw Trust Gaming pushing into that smoke. But in this case, the smoke can be see-through by the Glaz, fully taken advantage of. So maybe they will go for a similar push. They also have the Thatcher to EMP in there, clear out any of those Legion goo mines, potentially even temporarily disable Echo's Yokai drones if he gets it deep enough.
Leonski just not having the best of matches at the moment, is currently 0 and 5. He really needs to find a bit of strength going into potentially these defensive rounds. He is the IGL of Trust as well, because previously in the Trust Gaming that we've seen at DreamHack Valencia, it was Craxon, who has since then left the team. He was the IGL, so they've had to have a bit of changes to their lineup, but we'll see if they can make things work. We'll see if Leon can get himself a bit of morale, a bit of confidence for himself. Every time I say Leon, I always think of the other Leon. Of course.
Leon Gids.
That's always Leon Gids, but we can just call him Leon because Leon Gids isn't here.
Well, hopefully this one is so great. Either way, though, like you said, he's been struggling a lot. I mean, even if he's the IGL, maybe he needs to be IGLing a little bit further away from the map in terms of him getting killed a lot of times earlier. Quadzy, though, with a nice little hiding spot. Yeah.
Very, very sneaky from the castle. I don't know if Bobby's going to be ready for that, because I never see anybody lie there. I don't think I've ever seen a competitive game where somebody's lied there. Snuff, he will get things started. No, he missed it.
Babu.
Babu.
I saw the legs. Did you not see them too?
If
Maybe
we
he
can
called
see
it out
them,
and kept on.
If we can see them, you can see them.
Absolutely. There's a chance he saw them. You never know. Maybe he wasn't expecting them. It just didn't stick out to him. Either way, though, there is a good chance that he saw them and just moved on rather than, push it with his drone and get it killed. However, Quadzy is on the move now. Got to go right back into the territory. They thought they just claimed Buck right to his right. Easy kill, Quadzy. Nicely done.
Excellent sneaky play from Quadzy. A double kill for him as he finds out the real MC idling by, looking at the ceiling.
That's diffuser dropped.
That's another good kill for Quadzy. It does mean that Trust Gaming are heavily inside of the man advantage. Will go up against Glaz, but no, YLZ, he will manage to get the kill. And Snuff, he will get the refrag as he pushed up in through the blue stairs. And it will be down the queue on the Glaz to attack this kitchen defense. He uses his final 2 remaining smoke grenades, and Snuff has just completely rotated from there.
Yeah, it definitely did not work out there, so now he's out of utility. Fortunately, Snuff is definitely not out of bullets. Good round for him. I believe that was a 3K from Snuff and then a 2K that we saw from Quadzy. So those two guys alone picking things up finally this round. And I would say, again, another solid round by Trust. It's just they either have a great round or just lose it out. Nicely played that by Quadzy.
Yeah, just looking at the Penta versus Prismatic game, Prismatic, they did look, I would say, a lot better in their defense rather than their attack. So maybe their attacks is where they do struggle against teams. Trust Gaming, maybe they're really, really good on the defense, and they're starting to show it.
Well, it's tied, so anyone's game still here.
We'll go to the Hookah Launch and Bill. There's still no Penthouse and Fear from either of these teams. I'm very, very confused.
When Mira's banned, it's risky to do.
But we have seen in the past where Mira has been banned out, but teams can still adapt to that Penthouse and Fear, where you can potentially try and have these off-site holds in towards that VIP lounge, take good utility, such as Maestro cameras, deployable shields, to try and sit in that very back corner of the VIP lounge. You open up the entire soft, and Maestro sits there all day of the week and just peeks on in, or should we say Milos sits there all day of the week?
Yeah, let's not. I like seeing Leonski here on Pulse. It's always good when the IGL is going to be running that Pulse because there's a lot of information to call out, and he can make really good tactical decisions for the team based off what he sees. Now, of course, he doesn't see which operator it is, but he does see a lot of times good 2 or 3 positions of attackers. Hopefully he doesn't use his C4 too early, but he is going to be playing up there, it looked like in the kitchen area.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Oh, the bathroom. Nicely done.
Doing his business.
Yeah. He's going to take a short break for himself.
No short breaks here, thankfully. No observer feels this this weekend either, which has been good.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they are a little worried about spawn peaks, which is a good idea to be worried about them, because you never know. But they're seemingly to be a little less coordinated on this attack here, just by the initial things we're seeing the struggle here, and unfortunately not catching the player behind that bar yet.
Yeah, it seems to be that that certainly Prismatic, they're looking to try and get Babu in that same position where he can start opening from beneath. That's the advantage that Buck does have over the Sledge. So this is kind of going back to what the first round we seen from Trust, where they had to attack this kind of similar lineup where you can see pretty much the exact same. You see Jaeger behind that bar, just like he was for Prismatic, and then you have the Nitro cells from below coming in from Snuff. So this is kind of their main objective, is to deny that Nitro cell from below. Diapek is in a very strong position. The back of the bar is extremely hard for players to deal with unless you are going to start tossing in frag grenades, but then again, it is going to be a Jaeger who more than likely has an ADS right beside him as well. YLZ, he sees the peek coming in from Diapek, and he will eliminate him. So already a good start for Prismatic. Maybe a bit of aggression there that really wasn't needed for Diapek.
Unfortunately, he was in a good position. He didn't need to give away. He was hoping to catch someone by surprise, but YLZ is definitely not someone you catch by surprise very often. So unfortunate for him. Glaz with an only 13% pick rate this event. That's a nice little nugget of fact to see. It's
probably because he's been banned quite a bit as well.
Yeah, typical.
Very typical. Do see that the real MC, he will use the EMP grenades to get rid of those ADSs, so it allows the Glaz to really utilize those smoke grenades. As you do hear them being popped, the real MC also on a bit of flank coverage. Leonski, he will miss that Nitro cell, which could have been used to deny the plant from below. Snuff, however, he will use his Nitro cell to deny the plant coming down from Babu. YLZ, he will see Leon eliminate him as well. Snuff will get the refrag, another kill for him, who's been playing on top of his game for his team. Avai still has the SMG-11 in hand, which is devastating at close range, and so is the shotgun. But no, gas canisters is going to be the main thing. Capitoid bolts also do get thrown in, and Snuff will be rotated up towards the blue stairs, but also will meet his demise. Avai gets the refrag. So many refrags coming out, and Quadzy, he will manage to get the kill that does put Trust Gaming inside of the man advantage. They know that YLZ is inside. Can he clutch up this round? Avai misses the shots, but YLZ will not, as he gets another kill for himself. The Capitoid's on a rampage, and Quadzy's going to have to clutch it. He goes to rotation, but YLZ will be there. What a round from the Capitao, and Quadzy will fall, and Prismatic, they take that round, and definitely Trust Gaming throwing away that potential lead.
Yeah, YLZ, while he's a fantastic clutch player, I'd say there was a series of, well, 2 or 3 of them misplays against YLZ. They seem to be aggressive without the information to be aggressive against him, so their timing was completely off. You have a lot of map control. You could still rotate around and force him to come to you. They didn't play that way, and because of that, they lost the round. And they're going to take a tactical pause to think about it. Although this is going to be Prismatic on that tactical pause, so that gives Trust a chance to think, ponder.
Yeah, Prismatic, certainly I believe that they're kind of thinking, okay, we have the lead. Where do we go from here? They want to just make sure their mind is in in the good mindset that they need to be to actually go on to win this matchup. You cannot rely on YLZ to do every single bit of work for Prismatic, because eventually that luck will run out, and Trust Gaming will be able to capitalize on it. Just some players of Trust just aren't stepping up. Leonski, I don't know what's happened to him. He still hasn't managed to get himself a kill. He's missed his C4s. Something needs to change, and especially as an IGL, you need to step up and show that leadership and that morale to boost your team, and especially with Trust being very young in terms of this kind of level, they need to have that leader and that morale to finally push their way in, because if you get players like Diapek who starts to lose his morale and he starts not getting the kills, then everything just crumbles from there. So certainly there needs to be a bit of a change, and hopefully the coach Anthony, he can really change it around for his team.
Well, I think the big problem for Trust right now on defense is they're being aggressive a lot of times without the intel to be aggressive, something I was just saying about the last round. But I think that really describes overall their first two defenses. They did manage to make the first round win, but it's just, you know, they feel that confidence roam play. Well, they're not playing with intel, they're just playing on instinct. And that can work great if you can catch someone off guard. But players like YLZ, we saw multiple times, even on the previous round that they did win, it just, if you don't have the reaction time on him, he is very much on top of it, and you really need that information to be able to push against him. There we go, we're going to see the Ying that has not been banned this time. Got to be useful to push out again into that. Nope, he's going to 6-pick off to that glass. Oh well. Almost saw it for a second there, but Hookah is where we're going to go back again. They're going to try it one more time here. Hopefully they're going to play a little smarter this time, because they had an advantage and threw it away, unfortunately, last time against YLZ.
Both these teams are refragging very, very well. I don't think we really have seen, apart from the one round that Trust had in their first defense, where they had the numbers advantage just completely in their favor. Most of these rounds have went down to very close 2v1s, 1v1s. It is a very tight matchup, which we expected to see between both these teams. Very evenly matched, yeah. Seems to be.
This has been a good back and forth game, for sure. We'll see if they continue with it. At least they're going to have, now they're going to have Leonski on the Pulse and Snuff on the Valkyrie again. Now, that is a lot of intel. It's just maybe they're not using it wisely. Also, I would consider Legion an intel operator as well, to an extent, if he's being played correctly. So they have enough information in theory. They're just not playing off it, or, you know, maybe it could be a communication problem.
Could be a communication problem. It shouldn't be that case, because all of them do speak Dutch. They all are not switching to English comms, like Penta, for example. They've had to adapt to that, and also other teams. There shouldn't really be an issue with that, and that kind of sums up Trust Gaming at the moment, where just little things go wrong, and that can cost you the game, which at the moment is doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair, though, they're only 1 point behind, but this definitely could turn into map and match point right here. We'll see, though, how they're going to push this. We do have pressure on Hookah side. I imagine, though, some of the other operators potentially going to go around for that balcony onto Aqua as well. No, this looks like we're not seeing that kind of push just yet.
They have switched out the Buck for the Sledge. Bit of surprise, because typically Buck would be a lot better for that top-down verticality from below. Maybe Babu just isn't really feeling the C8, for example. He wants to change up to the Elliot instead. That could be a possibility as well. Sledge is still very good operator, still very strong. Has an amazing gun with virtually no recoil if you do run the holographic, or even the ACOG. It doesn't really have any downsides to that. And also frag grenades aren't always going to be a good thing for a team.
I mean, he got a little buff in the recoil fix, and then a little nerf in the way that the SMG 11 was changed. So he's you know, he's pros and cons to that. Whereas the C8 actually did get better for Buck.
Yeah, definitely just Sledge in a good position at the moment. There's no really downsides to him, just very, very standard, very solid operator. So still no kills on the board, which is, this has kind of been the slowest pace game of the round we've had so far inside this matchup. So I'm sure the kills will come out quite frantically.
Well, it does look like Snuff got spotted out there. He's going to rotate off. He was very close to an actual engagement there. Does get spotted by Guila's drone as well.
So a minute to go. Trust Gaming have all of the utility with those Nitro cells. One of them will be expended, and he will manage to land his kill. Diapek also started things off with a kill onto Babu. He still hasn't done anything on that attack. So 3 versus 5. Smokecaster has been used by the Glaz. But of course, those gas canisters with toxic babes can't be put out by a Vice, but he's instead going to push out the damage with that SMG-11. You can see the intel being found out by Leonski, which you did pick up with Devon as well. So Vice can play very, very aggressive with all this intel he knows. He can pump around with the shotgun and get the kills. Avaish just waiting for the call-outs, 20 seconds to go. Glaz does push in quite frantically, gets the kill as well onto Avaish. Leonski from below still given all this intel. Quadzy picks up Q. C4 goes out. Leonski finally gets his kill. No, he doesn't. Quadzy steals the kill away, and we will be squared up once again inside of this matchup. 4 rounds apiece.
Well, they finally win hookah. Now that they've done 2 other rounds, I imagine they're going to go back to kitchen, where they succeeded the first time. So Prismatic are actually now potentially on the back foot here, as it is tied, but it is going back to their primary bomb site. See if they can pull it off a second time. Could we see a cheeky delivery plant here from Prismatic as well?
They have the Glaz.
They're set up for it with these operators just like they were last time.
Yeah,
they
Glaz.
Go for it.
Glaz is so strong. He can just simply crumble teams. We've already seen that previously throughout some of the Pro League matches, different stuff like that, where Glaz just simply walks in, gets a 4K under the cover of smoke, and especially whenever they combo that with the Capitale, with those smoke arrows that cannot be used up by the ADS, and that's always going to be a strong thing, but still plenty of hefty amount of denial from Trust Gaming. They have the smoke canisters, they have the echo drones as well, and like you pointed out, goo mines can be a big thing, a good intel source, because you hear them get popped, you know exactly what push is going to happen, and then everybody rotates, and it's pretty simple from there to stop the plant.
Yeah, we'll definitely see if that's the case this time as well. Still doing a bit of setup here. They have, like we were talking about, a lot of potential intel. They're not going to play with the Valkyrie or the Pulse this time, but they do have Echo, which, while he is not always thought of as an intel operator, having 2 drones definitely puts him better in that position, as it is a cloaked drone. So unlike a Black Eye, it becomes an invisible camera that no one can find and shoot out very easily without running an IQ, which Prismatic are not doing.
Yeah, we've seen Snuffy had a good bit of utility with the IQ and their attacks. They managed to find out, the Legion traps, the Valkyrie cameras as well was picked up by the IQ scanner. Talking about Snuff, very aggressive. He's going to be on the roam trying to play these main lobby stairs as aggressive as he can, try and catch the members of Prismatic by surprise, get some easy and free kills, and especially if he gets one onto a Glaz. And you said that delivery push could be incoming. That seems to be where Prismatic are gearing up towards.
Yeah, they've already got the Claymore set up for it, for any kind of jump outs. That's where you see the desperate jet. No, it looks like they've replaced that Claymore. Taking it off. So they are going to drone it out though and feel out what delivery looks like first before they go for any kind of commitment to a push with the smokes they have from both the Capitao and Glaz himself.
Q will be that main point of contact that Trust Gaming will have to go against. They should know, yeah, don't pick the Glaz as you will meet your demise with that OTS, a very hard-hitting rifle. Just remember, whenever Glaz used to be even more stronger back before he did get those couple of little tweaks to his damage output. Ooh. What a wall bang from Babu! Gets the call out from the drone, and Diapek, he will fall, and this gives the go-ahead for these players to swarm the bomb site. They will come against the Echo drones, and also Snuff, who gets the flank. Leonski as well finally gets himself a kill, but Q will fell. Avaish, 1 minute 30 to go. Leonski, can he get himself a double kill? He will. The Echo is finally proven big for his team, and it will be down to the Real MC and Babu, who does get the down on the Snuff and does eliminate him as well. The Real MC has decided to jump in towards the A bomb site, who's completely clear, as Leonski and Quadzy will be over in towards the east section of the map, inside of the bathroom area. This is pretty tense at the moment. Thatcher and Sledge have to clutch it up to keep his team, to keep their team alive.
Diffuser's just sitting in delivery, though. They can't do anything to get it back.
Quadzy will get that kill onto Babu as Thatcher trying his best, but the angles will be held. Even if Leonski does fall, Quadzy should be there for the refrag. 45 seconds, no diffuser like you did point out, Devin. This is really awkward for the Thatcher to actually manage to clutch this round with no diffuser, of course, and it does make it that little bit harder. Great peek as Leonski, he will fall down to Quadzy. 1 versus 1. Castle versus Thatcher. UMP versus Elliott. 20 seconds, still plenty of time. This is close. He sees the shots, but Quadzy pushes around, but Real MC, he will clutch up for his team, and it will send Prismatic into match point against Trust Gaming.
Mistake after mistake again. Why are you pushing this man? You had time on your side. He did not have the diffuser. All you had to do was watch that. Unfortunate. Well played by Real MC, though. He absolutely should not have won that. He did. Kitchen going to be, again, the last attempt here. I think we're likely to see overtime the way things are going so far, though.
I'm surprised an Echo Drone didn't get put out there to gain the intel. I don't know if Leon lost both of them. I doubt he lost both of them, maybe one. should never lose to.
Yeah. And I'd say a big mistake by Prismatic, though, that round. When they went to push in, you saw too many people running in front of the glass. There was opportunities he had to get kills early on. You could see the bright yellow player, but people running back and forth on his own team made it so he had to hold his fire. Unfortunate. But I guess in the end they won it, so there is that.
Prismatic are 1 round away from moving on inside of the losers bracket and sending Trust Gaming back to the Netherlands. Quadzy leading the charge for his team, and also stuff is up there. Also, Leonski finally got a bit of a running ground there, finally landed his feet in solid connection with some of the shots he was hitting. We'll see if he can continue the momentum, or will it just be a one-round wonder for Leonski? As Prismatic, they are set to take this series, and we may potentially, we hope so, that we'll see it the first overtime. Yeah, that's right. We have yet to see an overtime today, so definitely a high possibility with the way these two teams have been playing. We'll see. This is their 3rd time defending Kitchen. They've won it once, they've lost it once, and now they have the final opportunity to win. Now, of course, if they win it, we go to overtime, but if they lose it, that's it for them. So Trust Gaming really going to have to focus here. So will Prismatic opt for that same kitchen and service entrance where they just go for the quick rush in through the service, or will they play a little bit more safe, a little bit more slow? Babu, he isn't even taking a soft breacher at this stage. Typically, we either seen him on the sledge or on the buck to try and do some work on that top floor. It just hasn't worked for him at all. Instead, we will see the Jackal being picked up on the side of Prismatic. That may be to deal with some of the roam game that Trust Gaming do establish on this top floor. As you can see, Diapek and also Quadzy will be the 2 members upstairs. I'm sure Stuff, he's probably lurking in some area. He's actually going to be on bomb site. I was expecting that kind of see him, you know, just random stuff. He would play really anywhere he feels to try and get a couple of flanks off, but no, he's just going to rock it on site. Maybe he's just holding there for now until he decides whether or not they're attacking delivery again. Waiting for those call-outs from his team. Either way, though, Babu has managed to take control at least of Blue Bar, but the castle barricades are going to slow him down as well as the glass. Yeah, Blaz, he can create these bullet holes, but of course we do know that you can no longer destroy castle barricades with the OTS rifle after the changes in that buff to castle. You still can't create, you know, sight lines by making holes, but you just physically cannot destroy the barricades, so it is there to stay. So you may have to go up and bash it a couple of times or call in YLZ to remove that for you as well. Aguila, he does have that secondary shotgun to create some rotation holes, or potentially use some of the soft breach on the top floor if he needs to, but members of Prismatic, they're not even interested in attacking that top floor. No, it looks like they could be going for a bar control in Sunrise again, like they are setting up for it, and it seems like they don't necessarily know how they want to hold for this push just yet, as you saw the glass kind of rotating around, but that's giving the opportunity for the defenders to move around as well here, so assuming they have some intel, they can take advantage of that to reposition for where the attack might actually come from. However, of course, there's going to be drones coming out in the meantime. Quadzy holding a nice long angle. That ump being stable enough on the recoil to possibly pull it off, but the plant coming down inside kitchen. The players of Prismatic have managed to find their way in, but quickly find their way out as the Hector drone has been sent in to do the work, and Aguila, he eliminates Quadzy inside of the courtyard, and this is falling apart for Trust Gaming. The book is crumbling at the seams. 5 versus 2, down to Diapek, just down to Diapek in a 1 versus 5, gets 1 kill for his troubles. Diffuser will be planted, but everybody knows where he is, and all the players of Prismatic have to do is wait outside, and they are set to take this win against Trust Gaming, unless Diapek says otherwise. Trying to land the shots, but no, Q will finish off the series, and Prismatic, they move on through the losers bracket, and Trust Gaming, they will be going home. I feel like Prismatic have had quite a few close wins. Their match that they had yesterday, definitely, it was a case where they won by a very close margin. Seems like they did so again today. Just seems like when it comes down to that situation and they're on 5 and the other team's on 4, for whatever it is, they seem to be able to break through that. Now, of course, in their previous match, they didn't get to that scoreline, so we didn't see whether or not that rings true every time. But either way, very good for Prismatic and unfortunate for Trust, as they are now going home, and Prismatic are going to have to face some tough opposition in the rest of the losers bracket to get another shot. Of course, we still have to find out who their opponents will be, and of course that will be Team Empire versus End Gaming, which will be another slobber knocker of a matchup as well. You love that word, Devin.
It is a
very UK term, I would believe.
curious word.
You love it, don't lie. Of course you do. But nonetheless, Prismatic, they will take the victory. 6 rounds to 4.